You're listening to RIAcast, a podcast of the Southwest Florida Real Estate Investment Association. RIAcast brings together a variety of real estate entrepreneurs from all over the world to share tips and ideas. The core purpose of the Southwest Florida RIA is to help members become more profitable and successful through networking, education, and empowerment. Here are your hosts, Jeff Tamarello and Michael Lyons.
I am Jeff Tamburello, a director of the Southwest Florida RIA, joined by the other director of the Southwest Florida RIA, Mike Lyons. Wanted to talk real quick about, it's a great topic because with Build to Rent, that was just a luncheon we just had. With Build to Rent, there's a lot of investors now buying new homes as rentals. And let's talk about some differences in what you should know and what you should more importantly do to protect yourself when you buy that new home as a rental property.
Absolutely. Well, and I've dealt with several of them, over 100 of them in the last year or two. And for some people, it's a great investment because you're cashing out of doing 1031 out of an area that, you no longer can have control over your asset, and you can't evict anybody. And, there's some states that really have made it difficult for landlords. So pull money out of that and buy these. And from their point of view, it's a good investment. But just a few things I've seen. One thing that comes to mind that has affected a couple of investors I worked with recently is make sure you get your, when you close on it, you get your AC warranty. You and I hadn't discussed this prior, but this just came up. The AC warranty comes with a 5-year warranty. If you get it registered, which is an additional step, you get a 10-year warranty, and it has to be listed in your personal name. They only give a 5-year warranty on an entity, but a 10-year in your personal name. So just make sure that takes place prior. That's kind of a side note that I've seen a few times now, where you've got anywhere from 30 to 90 days from when it's being installed where you have to get it registered. If you don't do that, they'll only give you a 5-year warranty. Even if you try to do it after the fact, I mean, that would save you money on down the road in the event you have an issue with your system. So ACs can be expensive.
Yeah.
So I get ready for that to take place. One thing in our meeting we talk a lot about is staying on top of the market. I found that some of these investors are well versed and have a game plan, but if you're not ready for the next tax bill, which initially your taxes will be low because it was vacant land, and then now you buy this property and you're not projecting what the new tax bill is going to be once it's reassessed, that also is going to have a huge impact on your cash flow. And another thing I'll mention too is rent rates fluctuate. A year ago, we rented the property for higher than we are now, that same house. Even brand new, take the exact same house in relatively the same area, and the market's changing. So you've got to stay on top of the market. If not, you'll be in a bind, and you'll go from positive cash flow to potentially negative cash flow pretty quick. So I just a few things for what it's worth.
How about, I know one thing that you and I have talked about as not all builders are created the same.
Yes. Very well said. Yes. I've worked with more than a dozen builders in the last, year or two in the Lee County and Charlotte County market. And there are some builders that are phenomenal. And there's a couple that probably shouldn't have a building license. And I would research that, heavily prior. What kind of complaints they have about them. If you've been in business long enough, you're going to upset somebody and they can put a complaint out. But if you have multiple complaints and issues, I know there's a builder, I don't want to mention it on a video like this, but there's a builder I wouldn't even manage for now, knowing if they built the property. That's how bad it is. So you definitely want to avoid certain builders. I mean, not all builders are built the same, and some do a great job, and some are closing the property, I'm done. And, the warranty work after the fact, for example, getting them back out to do warranty work is near impossible. So even with brand new construction, I think that's one of the false ideas is that you don't have issues if it's brand new. Well, you're still gonna have issues, but you have a good builder that, warranties the work, it's covered. So you're good there. But you still have problems from time. That's, you can't get away from that.
I'd like to share something from the data nerd side.
Yeah.
You can get on, particularly if it's a Lee County property, you can go to leeclerk.org and hit official record search. And you could search the builder. First of all, you can see how many notice of commencements. You want to sort it by date, newest to first.
Sure.
One thing I'd look for, we track foreclosures, we track judgments, we are tracking lis pendants, and we're tracking liens now.
Yep.
Because I'm kind of watching, because new construction is really where all the action is in the market for the most part. And I'm seeing a lot of late 2022, our land buying business, everybody we were selling to was not our buyer in 2021. It was a whole bunch of people that came into the market after the fact. And not a lot of them were exceptionally capitalized. They were pooled money, other people putting up the money, stuff like that. It's not like we've got Holiday Builders is a RIA member, and their very specific land buying process. I've sold land to them. It takes them a little while to close, but when they close, they actually know everything about the lot too. So they don't get blindsided. And it got to the point where you weren't selling to builders like Holiday, who are pretty reliable, unless there's like an environmental concern, and to just some new group out of Miami who was paying more than Holiday would as well. So that's but going back to the data part, every builder's going to have an occasional lien.
Oh yeah.
Because, they got an argument and it may not even be their fault. The sub tried to retrade them or something happened. 1 or 2 liens against a builder is really not that big of a deal. I really wouldn't. But if they got 50 liens, and then particularly when you start seeing lis pendants with the builder named, and even worse, a judgment, because, when you put a lien on the property, I'm making sure I get paid.
Okay.
If the judgment means I've given up on getting paid, so I'm getting a judgment against you to start charging through some stuff. So it's definitely, or sometimes it's just a personality conflict. There are some lawsuits that are purely personality conflicts. So
no, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because you have 1 or 2 liens against the builder and they've built, 300 houses. I'm not nervous by that, or that's not a red flag, because you're right. 2 strong personalities and some headbutting can create a lien pretty quick.
It's pretty rare to meet a builder that doesn't have a strong person. You kind of have to have a strong, like, type A personality to survive in that game. It's rough.
Agreed. No, I agree. But if you, like I said, you see 50, 60, 70, liens and some judgments, definitely steer clear. And there are a couple of builders that have that problem on their hands. So I would avoid, again, doing your own research. But it's so important to say, just because it's brand new and it's past city and county codes, doesn't mean you're not going to have a problem on your hands when you close on it. Because again, I've got a couple now I'm dealing with where the builder will not respond to anything, emails, text messages, phone calls, anything. But again, this is out of several I've dealt with. I only have one that I've had a really big problem with, but in some are great. I mean, I've got a builder, Martin Homes, built a bunch of properties in Cape, Port Charlotte, Charlotte and Lee County. They're phenomenal. I mean, there's an issue, they jump right on it. He says, "This is my name, my company name. I'm going to protect it," and he does a great job. Coaston Homes, dealt with them a bunch on some warranty related issues. Phenomenal, to jump right on it. I mean, there's definitely a handful of builders that are great, but there's definitely those you gotta do your research on and check. Is not good at all. So
yeah, I had a funny story. I had an investor from New York. He's trying to spec some houses, and he asked me, he goes, "Is everybody down here a cowboy?" And I was like, "Well, I think you got to be rugged to yeah, that's what he said. He goes, he's a down to Manhattan guy. He goes, he's not used to when he would go meet a builder, the lifted trucks and salt wife. So,
yeah, that's right.
I'm like,
right.
That's different world, bro.
Yeah,
so you better bring your pizza with you.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you see a fisher pulling their car, they're probably a good guy. So
yeah, 100%. So if anybody wanted to get in touch with you, Mike, how would they get a hold of you?
Sure. So my personal cell phone, 239-560-6164. My company's name is Lions Real Estate, but my email is mike@lionsrealestateinc.com. But yeah, happy to reach out to them. Even if you have questions, but if you don't need my services from a management standpoint, totally fine. Love to save you as an investor and save you money. You got a property you're interested in getting an evaluation on, what it would actually rent for. That's one that we didn't really touch either too much in this video. Just make sure you know what you're buying and how much it actually is going to rent for. Don't go on a pipe dream that's promised to you. That's not reality.
That is such an issue. That is because the selling agents either don't want them to know that the markets went down a little bit or don't know.
And either way, once the check clears and the transaction's over, which is very short, no vision at all for that realtor, because you need to think long term. I want clients to be happy with my services and refer more and deal with them in the future. But some are like, once I get my sale, I'm done. I'm on to the next, and they don't care. Again, not all agents are like that. There's some really good agents out there, but you definitely need to get a reality check on what it actually will rent for, so your cash flow is legit. You're not guessing anything, and going off of what you see on Zillow is not always reality. So
amen to that.
Not to knock Zillow, but that's not always the best place to go for data. So
cool. Look forward to your presentation. It will be at the Southwest Florida General Meeting this month. And if you have any questions, go to the website, swflreia.com. There'll be a link in this video to it as well. And great information. And more importantly, you're going to meet a whole bunch of people that are trying to do the same thing you're doing.
Absolutely.
This concludes this edition of RIAcast. Be sure to subscribe to receive our next episode. You can also subscribe at our website, www.swflreia.com. See you at a meeting soon. Please let us know if you have a suggestion for a future episode.